Oh, hey guys. Guess here we are back too. That's right, the city of Kaunas. Back for a one-day layover. And I figured, yay, I can actually explore a little bit more. Granted, it's looking a bit dreary. Definitely needs some snow. But on the other hand, at least I think today is in our favor to get into a few places I did not get to see last time. And on my checklist, it's gonna sound crazy, but on my checklist, I want to see two things today. I want to go into a authentic Lithuanian cemetery, and hopefully I can accomplish that here. And there's a Catholic church that's up that overlooks the city that I also need to see as well. So join me. Let's see if we can accomplish these things. And if not, maybe we can at least have fun in the process. I did notice there was a cross up here. I'm supposed to be going this way towards the Strombrass sign, but we're gonna go up first. This is kind of eerie, sleeping bags. I don't know how good idea this is. So we're gonna go up for a bit. And as I said, there's a cross at the top waiting for us. Well, this is a really reassuring walk. There's steps that are like missing chunks that are completely busted. Like, look at this as a progression right here. Right here. It actually was worse in the beginning. Did you guys know that this city was known as like the capital of like stolen cars and car parts back in the mid-1990s? Totally never knew that. Only because of my viewers did I learn that little fact. And now I'm walking on wood. Jeez. Where are we? Now, on a cool note though, there's the church I want to go to. Way over there. I don't know if you can see it, but that's where we're heading. Wow, the wind's picking up. Rain's supposed to come in. A little snow and sleet. Some perfect weather. Perfect weather for winter in Lithuania. Here's our cross. And here's our view, which just shows you the beautiful train station. Now, in a serious note though, the reason why this cross is here isn't just for looks. It's to represent all of those relatives that would come here and they'd see their deported relatives off from the train station. This is where they'd gather. This would be the final time they'd see them, especially during the deportations under the Soviet Union from 1945 to like mid-1950s. So there is a reason for the landmark. Yeah. We're in just a side neighborhood right from the cross. So if you're wondering what some houses look like, here you go. Or maybe if you're a local happening to see this, you might have seen where you grow up. Now, one thing I like, especially in Lithuania, they've done a really good job. I think I have to take that right. Is they tell me where to go. So for example, the Valley of Songs, which is on my list, is that way. So this is the way we're going. You know those stereotypes about like the Baltics and parts of Central Europe and Eastern Europe being poor? Clearly not in this neighborhood. No, not in this neighborhood. And this is like manicured, beautiful, stately homes. I think that's the thing that always surprises me the most. I think growing up in the 80s in the United States, you just get a different perspective on things. But that's also why I like to travel. I like seeing that. Now granted, as I said, there are other neighborhoods. We just happen to be taking the side street that shows like a bucolic, well-to-do, rich area. But the point is, it's not all those sandlot homes. It's a beautiful street, actually. If you ever wondered how that people get across from one area to another with a railroad track and roads, you just go down this flight of stairs, cross the bridge, and then up another flight of stairs. Huh. Wow. It's cool. You know, the city is really growing on me. My first impression, I wasn't really sure. It's definitely got a different vibe than Vilnius. But I like it. I really do like it. You know, I'm truly thinking this must be the neighborhood where all the teachers live. Yep. Yep. That's what I think. Want to look at all these really small homes. Lack of apartments. All of them are teachers. They have to be. Have to be. That's where the money comes from. Well, this is really exciting. I wanted to just drop off my bag. It's like 3 hours before I can check in. And I asked, and not only did they let me in, my room's ready. But look at this thing. So this is the same price as the room I got in Vilnius, which you didn't see, but I mean, I got a balcony, little sitting chair, a nice workstation right here. Comfortable bed that's actually lined up to the TV for once. But this is the best part. Look at this. Like, for a single, I get this. Beautiful. And this is all because I knew I'd get a better deal coming to Kaunas for New Year's Eve than if I had stayed in Vilnius. Aha, just plan a little bit. Oh, and for people that think all they get are always just showers, look at this. About time. I can soak in the tub. Yeah. All right, let's go back out and accomplish our mission for the day. Yeah, I didn't expect my hotel to be so nice. And even though I'm not in the city center, I'm still a reasonable walk to everything. So, for people that are interested, you can leave in the comments or drop me a message and I'll tell you what the name of the hotel is. But again, we're just like in this like immaculate area. I think we're almost to where my park is, or one of them. Well, I was all ready to cut through to get to the park, but I'd be cutting through these homes and their backyards, and for some reason I didn't think that would go over well. So instead, we had to go down another street right next to their stadium of all places. Yeah, I know, I found the stadium. And now we're at the park. That brings us to some really cool places, actually. And it's the direction we have to go in to get to... Well, I'm basically doing a giant loop, for those that are interested. All right. Now look at this. If I could read, the only word I understand here is zoo. Wow, this is pretty cool. They have something on in the stadium. They're playing something on the Jumbotron. I guess this is if this was a Taylor Swift concert, I could stand here and listen to everything. I think one of the criteria for you knowing that it's a good city that you actually are in is if they have good parks. And this is pretty cool if you ask me already from the beginning. Nice big park. And even though I'm not a big football fan, I'd go. I think it's a track though. So even better. Watch some track and field. All right, so we've made it to location number 1. The Valley of the Songs. Look at this right here. It's pretty cool. It is simply an outdoor performing area. And I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to say if they call it the Valley of the Songs, this is where they gather and they sing. So here's a better vantage point. I like that they have all these spots right out front for wheelchairs. They have them marked. which I know would think that's common sense, but maybe not. And then here's all the seating. I love how the trees, they didn't take the trees down. They made it a part of the venue. It's really nice. Really, really nice, actually. I like the energy. I can already feel it even without being here for a performance of some sort. I was just reading there's something like 58 different bird species that live in these woods. So if you're into birds, this is where you come to like look at all of them. It's interesting, we're right near like a main road and the stadium, but it's very quiet. I like that. I mean, if you've ever seen my channel, you know I like quiet. As we cut through the park, I wanted to comment on the Valley of the Songs. One thing I really appreciate about Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia is their connection to music, and especially like gatherings for performance of music. And I think that's really, really special. Now, granted, I really don't know enough to talk about it here on how that's used, but I will say that seeing that performance venue reminds me of when I was in Estonia, and they showed all those black and white photographs of from 1989, I think was the date, when citizens of Estonia, Lithuania, and Latvia all got on the same highway, and they parked their cars and they held hands in a protest, in a silent well, actually I think it was a musical protest, right? Like didn't they hold hands and they sang? And it was their way of protesting, saying they wanted to be out of the Soviet Union and to be independent countries. I think that's what it was. Regardless, I know that all these people parked out on the highway, they all held hands, and it was a big deal. Because there was no violence. It was these three different states and the people coming together for a common cause. So when I see that type of venue, it reminds me of that. It's completely different than how like Americans would handle living in a less ideal situation. You know, it's hard to believe I've not seen one of these until now. But I have a friend right here, a red squirrel. Look at him. Hi, honey. Oh. Damn it. Unlike Warsaw, they're not friendly here. That sucks. The ones in Warsaw, I was able to kind of feed with nothing in my hands. While this one's like, oh God, run. Run as fast as you can. Oh, this is beautiful. I can't wait to run in here tomorrow morning. It's one of my criteria. Find a good place to run. Wanting to hit the most important landmarks here in this city. I knew it was important to cut across this park through the zoo to the cemetery because they have a giant bison right here. Look at this guy. Although, it makes me wonder if they've ever seen a bison up close. This one looks rather big. Like, what is hanging? Is that part of his neck? Is that his? No, it's not his tail. Oh God! Well, there he is, guys. So there's the mighty bison. Some people have they put their names on him. I know it's not funny. They do have lights, I'm sure, at night. This looks very scary. If you didn't know about it, you're walking in the woods. More importantly, here's dad joke time. So, what did the boar say to his kid? Bye, son. You get it? Bison? B-I-S-O-N? Yeah. Alright, I won't quit my day job. Let's keep going. Oh. You know, I will make one more comment about this park. in this winter season where everything's at rest, it still has such a beauty to it. Really, really does. We've just come out from that part of the park. The entrance to the zoo is right here. And while I'm sure some of you want to go into the zoo, I have to be honest, ever since I went to the Krakow Zoo a few years ago, my interest in going to zoos is kind of just, it's not there anymore. It's not because I love seeing the animals, but the problem is I'd prefer to see the animals in their natural habitats. So unless it's a place where these are animals that are indigenous to this local area and they're like rescue animals, it just doesn't sit right with me anymore. So, sorry about that. Wow, I'm delighted. I see all of these beautiful, like, trails, walking paths. Oh, there's a church up ahead even. Getting close to the, to one goal anyway. Still got your neighborhoods, different houses, but now we got some apartment buildings showing up. This really isn't what I expected. I think I expected this. I expected this like everywhere, not just once in a while. And I'm not trying to be mean, it's just that was what my impression was. And then of course, you know, your general standard apartment buildings. But the city definitely has a contrast. And look at this right here. We have a beautiful church. Looks all locked up. Do we dare? Here, I'll show you. It's pretty. But I think we're gonna hold off. Church actually has a very interesting story to it. The parishioners in like January of 1936 wanted to build their own church, but there were no funds that were available. So the priest who was in charge, basically they collected it was a church tax. It was a building tax during the offerings, and basically it was paid for by the parishioners. So by May they had the foundation built, and they built it out of brick because that's all they could afford, and they wanted it done quickly. Cool. We're so close to the cemetery. I can't get over this though. I know it's my thing. It's my Western assumptions. I should have known because of all the time that I spent in Poland, but I wasn't expecting this. Now, made it to the cemetery. It's interesting. They have a giant wall. I don't know if that means we can get in or not. See? The wall. And a wall. It's like they knew I wanted to get in. Alright, that's not very helpful either. Well, this is a buzzkill. I did notice the graves are in pretty rough state, but come on, a wall? I hope that I can get in on the other side. She reminds me of when I was in a small city over in Poland, and the same exact thing happened. I was trying to get into the cemetery, and yeah. Well, I've stuck my hand through a hole in the wall, and here you go. There's one grave. Right there. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me, right? Hey, on a side note, if I remember right from my friend, Miss Dominica, who does the Into the Bloom blog, the travel blog, this is mistletoe. And it is a invasive species. I always thought it was supposed to be something pretty that you use in the holidays to share a kiss with, but No, it's not supposed to do this. I'm pretty sure. I hope I remember that right, otherwise I'm going to feel like a chump. Still trying to get into my graveyard. Maybe this? Maybe I'll just climb up? This is where a little research would have helped. I just saw that it was a cemetery. I did not know that this was a Jewish cemetery. Okay. And we did find a gate that's open. So this is the old Jewish cemetery in Žaliakalnio. It was founded in 1861 and functioned as a cemetery until 1952. So let's have a look. My apologies about the quality of the filming now. It is raining out, as you can tell. But here's what remains of this cemetery. It's interesting how it's in, they have security cameras and lights, but it's in pretty much disarray. No one here to look after it. A lot of toppled headstones. But at least there's graves here. At least there's something. If you were to go to Lublin in Poland, let's see, look, we have a tombstone here. Wow. So, if you were to go to Lublin, though, to their cemetery, or what remains of it, this is all you'd see. It's just a field. Because the Germans came in and they razed it. They wanted to erase everything that related to the Jews. And part of that was getting rid of this history as well. I do know, I was looking online and I saw that there was a synagogue here in the city. But now if you click on Google Maps and you click on the synagogue, it looks like it's a dance club, which, yeah, maybe someone can explain that to me. This right here tells me that someone came in here and they wrecked that. They picked it up and they broke it. It's a shame. I don't care what your religious beliefs are, but you shouldn't be desecrating graves. Period. Wow. This tomb from 1926 is kind of interesting. It actually looks like a tree trunk. It's not. It's out of stone. But it looked like a tree trunk to me. As is this one right down here. I wonder what the symbolism was for that. If it's to demonstrate like the tree of life. Just throwing stuff out, I have no idea. But the fact that from the 1950s, 1952 when they closed this, that it hasn't functioned as a real cemetery again. You can just see, this isn't storms, guys. This is from kids and from unruly folk who think that they're making a difference because they can't express stuff in their words. Shame. In 1941, June 26th, there was a group of Jewish villagers who were killed by the Nazis, and their remains were moved here in 1946. Saw that. Wow. Weather has turned for the worst. But a dreary day. And again, I just I'm a little bit speechless about this. I'm not surprised, based off of other cemeteries, Jewish ones I've seen in this part of the world. But yeah. All right, let's go pick some mistletoe. Let's go to the cathedral. Onwards. It let up a little bit, just enough for the water to accumulate on the road. So as I'm walking, some Yahoo, well, he didn't even care. He drove right over a puddle, and all the water splashed down on top of me. So my comment about it being fun, being in this weather when it's 4 degrees out and this type of rain. I take that back. Until I'm dry, at least. God. It's just because my legs are soaked. This coat, it always just brings the water down. But hey, look. We're almost there. We're a little bit farther. I was praying for a cafe or something to stop at to warm up. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they have a flat. It did. The front, it did. It stopped raining. Thank you. Oh. I think I'm on the right street. I did kind of break my vow. I did actually double check Google Maps, because when it starts turning into like an ugly day like this, I'm not just going to explore to explore. And I knew the cemetery was a good 30-minute walk from the Resurrection Church. If I close my eyes and then if I open them, I legitimately might think I'm in Pennsylvania. In like Bedford, Pennsylvania. Similar architecture a little bit. And then you have an apartment building to the side. I love the commonalities that many of us don't think we have. Oh, and this appears to be a library of all things. Yeah, there you go. Can someone make it warm up, please? I shouldn't have shaved. My face feels chapped. You know, I could have been back in Morocco enjoying the sun, 22-degree weather. Just saying. Not griping, just pointing out a fact right now. As my legs become chilled to the bone. Well, it was quite the journey. But we made it. Here she is. They better let us in. Or that's going to be a total buzzkill. That's going to be like... Yeah. I don't even have a suitable response, except... Wouldn't that be great? Hey, look up here, guys. The school. Look at their mascot. It's a bison. Is the Kaunos for the emblem, is it the bison as well? I should have looked more oh wait, that was in Riga. Wasn't here. Huh. Alright. Oh, I sure hope I can get in here. Well, that's a nice looking building next to it, huh? Here we go. I think we might be able to get in. It was very pretty in there. It's very understated, as you noticed, especially compared to other churches that we've gone into. If you go to Vilnius and you look at the comparison with a lot of those, just completely different. It's nice, but it's definitely different. Now I don't know how this works because I'm not going to pay, but they do have a terrace here. And I think it's for €3 or for €5. and you can go out and you can get a better view of the city and whatnot. I'm perfectly content just walking here. Yeah. And actually, because I remember, yeah, it's actually, I'll show you where it is. Do you see where the cross is up there? This level right here, which my hand's not really showing it right, but you can go up there for like €3 to €5. I don't know. I think for the elevator it's 5. If you use the stairs, it's 3. And you can stand up there and you can look out onto everything. It's above my budget for the night. Still pretty cool though. One more look at the church if you're still with me. So not the second level, the top level. That's where the terrace is. That's where you can pay to go get your view. I, on the other hand, am paying for my view to go down the stairs. If you do want to see that on film, there is a Scotsman, I think, a Scottish guy who did a vlog of Kaunas, and I believe he went to the top of there. But I'm saving my money for for whatever I'm going to eat in hopefully 5 to 10 minutes. Plus, look at the view from here. I know, it's not as inspiring. It's all good though. Now, for people that might have noticed, I don't know if I got a good image of it or not, but they had a side chapel in there to the image of divine mercy. At least I think that's what it is. I don't know. I don't know for sure, but I'm saying this for people that are Catholic who've been following that. The actual original image is in Vilnius. It had traveled around different churches in Vilnius, basically under protection so that it wouldn't be taken by the Soviet authorities. But now it's back in the original church in Vilnius. And I swear it's that image of Jesus, but I'm not sure. I could be wrong. Clearly I'm showing off the best side of the city now on this downward path. Where am I? Now see, this is a cooler image of the church from here. But yeah, if you can see the worship area where we were, but then that whole top level, we didn't see any of that. Huh. Maybe someday I'll go back. It's a cool building. All right. The little side street that we came off of, I really like the front of this building right here. It's quite pretty. I also like the fact I know exactly where I am right now from my last journey here, because this takes us down to where they had their Christmas market, or their Christmas tree at least. Yay. And while I should be turning around and going towards the tree and towards food, this definitely grabbed my attention. I wonder what the history of this is, and why is it defaced? If you go up the stairs, you can see graffiti littered throughout. None of it looks any good, too. And actually kind of funny. We turn in the other direction where you have this like high-end elite building, we'll say. But then right here where you have this historical building, there's an eye staring at us. Very interesting indeed. I'm not sure what this building is over here, if it's a museum or a government building or what. But you have this walking path right here with famous people from Lithuanian history. And what actually grabbed my attention first were the lions over there, but the eternal flame that they have right here. This is lovely. Take a look at this. It's beautiful. The flame is going. And then behind it you have all these crosses that I always put with Lithuania. Wow. There seems to be more and more in this city just when I turn from one direction to go to another. Wow. So we are in a pizza place. I didn't get pizza though. I got some traditional meals, and I'll show you them as they come. All right. Here's a winter tea. I have no idea what it is. I think it's just raspberry and stuff. It's like meat stuffed potatoes. They're good. And then now the second course, raviolis stuffed with meat and mushrooms in a cream sauce. Tastes a little bit like stroganoff. Well, the sun is trying to come out for the last 30 minutes of the day. I'm just happy that I won't be soaked walking back to my hotel room. Food was pretty good. The pasta dish was but that baked potato with the stuffed meat in it, that was awesome. And actually it wasn't baked, it was like fried potato. It was awesome. I would definitely get that again. So I'll be on the look out for that next time I'm here in Lithuania. But I feel like this is where I originally started, way back when. The first time I filmed here. So I will bid you adieu for real this time. And until our next adventure. Peace, guys.